Hey, are you trying to stop sucking at PvP? Then go ahead and look at this masterclass from your boy Mirago on how to use the most underrated subclass in PvP in Destiny 2, the Voidlock. We're going to be learning how to utilize this kit in today's video in 3v3 scenarios, specifically Trials of Osiris. This is going to go and kind of walk through the build, not a general overview or anything like that. I have another video for that you can look down in the description below. There's a dim link and it'll be a link to the other video that you can go watch. We're going to be talking about the 3 rules to succeed with this Voidlock build. It's going to cover all of the finer details of how I play with it, and we're going to go ahead and start with rule number 1. Alright, so one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is not utilizing their radar, so we're going to go over a few scenarios with that. Scenario number 1, as I slide in right here, I can tell from my radar over here that I have an enemy on my far side here, and I have an enemy pushing the catwalk right about here. Okay, so I watch this side, and then I go in to engage at the catwalk. I notice nobody there. I see that my radar shifts has changed, but I had that enemy from the left side pop up. I go to re-engage right side, but I see from the radar that he's moved back towards catwalk. This enemy right here, he shifted over to that left side. So now I can shift my focus back over to the catwalk safely. And that guy was invis, but I knew he was going to be there because I watched my radar. Then pushing up, there's only one enemy left. I see the radar catwalk. I go in, secure the kill. That's the end of the round. Going into this next scenario, I roll in, I look at my radar. I see we're getting flanked on this right side. So I go to support my teammates here on this far side, but then I turn back, see them coming around, meaning they're close on my right. I look over, there's a shotgun. But my buddy dies to it because he's not paying attention to it, and I live and get that melee off.
The missile knows where it is at all times. It knows this because it knows where it isn't.
Fucking Jotun, dude. Okay, we get it. I'm a Jotun magnet. Regardless of that, being aware of your radar really helps in a lot of these engagements that you're outnumbered in or caught off guard by. Right here, I know there's a guy on my right that's pushing up, so I was able to blink out of the way to not get shotgun killed, utilizing my blink and my radar manipulation, even though I was really bad at using my blink in this scenario. Keeping him disoriented and keeping myself moving around, being aware of my radar, and securing those kills. Super easy to do is just to look up at the top left of your screen, look at what's going on around you. I see there's a guy here on the right that just killed my teammate. I secure that kill and also that res because we're away from the rest of the action. I'm able to help my teammate on that left side and keep watching the radar. I know we've got one dude close. He's coming on this right side again, so he gets melted. And that basically secures that round for us because there's only one dude left. We have both of their reses on our side and our own that we can go recover. Now that we've got that knocked out and learned about the radar, let's go into rule number 2. Rule number 2 is our Void Soul. This is the pinnacle of this build. The Void Soul locks down reses, it locks down locations, it tracks, it weakens, it deals damage over time, it can proc devour if it gets a kill. It is the all-around best form of combat supremacy in a 3v3 specifically, but like in all aspects of PvP, it's just so good. We're able to lock out reses here, we're able to get those weakens, we're dealing damage, it's allowing our teammates to assist us as well, and we even have kind of our own mini radar inside of that Void Soul. If we know where our Void Soul is and we know where damage is ticking, then we know where we can go to find our enemies and kind of know where they are and where they're moving just by watching those damage ticks. Watch right here, you'll see that I'll place my Void Soul after dealing damage to one of these enemies, and as we kind of get that zone on lock, he's dead, he's going to die to this Void Soul, right? That's going to secure his res inside the Void Soul. They're not going to be able to get that res as long as the Child of the Old Gods is up. Now, when we look over, we saw that we had some damage ticks over there, so we know that there's still an enemy right here. So we're able to not only sit here and just camp out this res, but we kind of had a dominant position in order to stay on that flag the entire time because they couldn't work past the Void Soul until they killed it. It is such a powerful tool that is the most pinnacle part of the kit. And now that you understand all of the rules about the Void Soul, it's time to get to rule number 3 of this build, which is going to kick up everything that we've already learned to the next level and how we address the rest of our gameplay. So rule number 3 is basically just figuring out when and where we need to use our kit and at what points we need to use certain abilities and at what points we need to hold certain abilities. Traveler's Chosen is really good because A, it's just a really good gun, and B, it allows us to get our abilities up even more often than we already do. Our abilities have really low cooldowns, so they're coming up pretty often as well, but we still want to be smart about how we're utilizing those abilities and what our downtime between those is going to look like, right? If I know that I've just sent out a Void Soul, then unless I kill something that's inside that Void Soul, I'm not going to get my Rift back for at least the rest of the round. So I need to be smart about when I'm placing that, if I need to save it for emergencies, if I know that I'm going to be locking down a res or a potential zone. If I'm using my melees, I should only be using my melees if I'm going in and I'm pushing an engagement with somebody at close range, they're pushing with shotguns, they're pushing with SMGs, and I'm knocking them away so that I can go and get a more stable combat on my side and more disorienting on their side. Your grenades, I use them as like when I'm reading my radar, because you should be reading your radar in Rule 1. If I'm reading my radar, then I go and I throw my grenade where my dude pops up on the radar. He's weakened and or dead. If he's not dead, he's super weak, and I can clean him up with Traveler's Chosen or my hand cannon. And that does also include your blink. You're running Astrocyte Verse so that you get better blinks, but you still want to kind of space them out when you can, so that way you always have them up and you're never without your super viable blink jump. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. I'll make more videos about different builds that I use in PvP. This is kind of my main right now. I also run Strand Hunter, which is really fun. So if you guys want to see more about that, you can. There's already a video up on a Strand Hunter build that I run, but if you want a full breakdown of it, let me know in the comments below, or if there are other builds that you want to see, let me know in the comments below. I'm going to let the rest of this gameplay rock out, and I hope you guys have a good day. Thanks, bye.
Bitch!
They're both there.
They're all there. They're on the point.
Oh my god, what it...